microphones. I'm going to alternate asking questions with y'all, and I'm going to start off with Eddie. The topic for this panel is Cylons and Us, the same or different? You had the privilege of addressing the United Nations in New York a couple of years ago, and you specifically had thoughts about this notion of otherness, which really applied to how the humans view the Cylons on BSG. Would you like to share with the audience?
What was the question?
Just about the...
I think it was a statement that you were making, not a question. Okay, it had something to do with what we did over at the at the UN. How many of you saw what happened at the UN? Raise your hands. For those of you that haven't seen what happened at the UN, you should see this one. This is one you should take a look at. What happened, and basically it deals with what a lot of us know as fact, but we really don't have an opportunity to understand that much, is that we keep on using the word race as a cultural determinant, you know, as if there was a Latin race, a Caucasian race, you know, Asian race, indigenous African American race. And I said it very directly there that there is no such thing as a Latino race or a Caucasian race. That was started about 600 years ago. And there's only one race, and you know what that is, right? That's right. And so say we all. And then we did that there also. And we got the entire UN to actually say, so say we all. It was a very emotional moment, because I don't think anyone had ever said that before in that forum. And it's not that we don't know this. We all know this, but the problem is that we've been actually indoctrinated over the last 600 years thinking that the word race is used correctly if you're talking about different cultures. And it isn't. And that's one of the biggest problems we have. In our show, BattleStar, it was only one race, the human race, against the Cylon, period. There was no other, you know, I don't care what planet you were from, you dealt with one situation, which was the human race. So anyway, that's what happened at the UN, and it became very, very poignant, because the next major conference on human rights, which was the Durban Conference on Human Rights, where the entire planet went to South Africa, they changed their charter, and they changed the description of the word race, and they will no longer be using race as a cultural determinant. We're trying to do the same thing at the UN, and hopefully we'll be able to do that.
Let's have an audience question from this side.
Hey guys, my name is Jason. So in the show, you had a lot, it seems like just listening to the commentaries and everything, you guys had a lot of control over how to shape your own characters. But I'm wondering, and this is for all of you, was there a point where you found yourself lost, and whether there was a specific director or perhaps one of the producers or the writers who really helped you find yourself? And can you speak a little bit about that?
For me, when I had to kill everybody that I loved. No, it's funny because you can probably speak to this, Edward, because you talked a little bit. I don't know if you want to share that about having, in a sense, an ownership of your character. What happens with that character? And so often, we have an idea about what we want to do, and we may be going in one direction, and the writers are going in another direction. And you have to find some way to bring those two together. And I was always able with Zarek to kind of find for me a justification for all the things that I did. And I could always, the political idealist, the wounded idealist, the guy that was angry at the powers that be, and God knows, aren't we all? And then finally I get to that point where the only people on the entire show that actually support this character, I have to kill him. And actually, in the original script that I got, the council agrees with me. And I still go out and say, kill him. And I said, I can't do that. I said, why would he take out, in a coup, you take out anybody against you? Because if you're going to do an extreme measure such as a coup, you have to take out anybody against you, otherwise you fail. And they had these people supporting me, and I said, I can't do it. And that was really probably the moment when, wherever the writers had been going, whatever their thinking process was, had culminated in that moment where I felt there was a great divide. And thank God, you know, on this show, with the collaboration between the writers, the producers, the directors, everybody really was not about ownership of being right. Everybody was about finding the best way to do things and to work it out for everybody. And so they were able to change that. But still, I have to be honest, that was probably the hardest moment for my character to have to make that decision. I don't think that communicated itself, you know, in terms of the character of the scene. But Michael Angeles, I was struggling with that. Michael Angeles was the writer-producer of the episode. And we always had the writer-producers on the episode helping, working with the directors and working with the actors. And he came over and basically, you know, he said, you know, Richard, because I had gotten into this, the anger part of me, the part of me, of the character feeling betrayed, this character feeling like every corner he got taken away from the presidency, he got, you know, his only other suit blown out the airlock, of course. Thank you, Edward, for that. But nevertheless, that moment of really having to sit there and look in Gator's eyes, and basically, after I blew away the council, really just kind of talking to him, not being emotional, not getting into any big thing, just really being simple, direct, and grounded, and letting the words come out. And honestly, it went against every little instinct inside of me, and yet, when I played it that way, it absolutely worked. And again, the collaboration on the BattleStar set, I have never been on a more collaborative, more creative, more inspiring set than BattleStar. I'm sure everybody can concur. I've been in this business 40 years, and I hope to God I have an experience as good as this one. It was an amazing experience to be on the BattleStar set.
No, you have the story. Go ahead.
I know. I can't hear myself. No, I'm good.
I'm good, yeah. I said my piece.
The only person that was lost on the set is Jamie Bamber and David Icke. That's it.